coming to America. To America. Like, this is the new Eddie Murphy sequel to a 80s movie. I'm not too familiar with it. I think I've seen it a couple times, but most of it slips my memory. I do recall there are like a number of scenes, and I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm a total sellout. I'm not being honest with myself. Every day I look at this COVID shit, and there's this inside voice that tells me this can't be real because it hasn't affected me yet. I would have expected COVID to like fucking bust down my door and kill my family by now. By now, you would have to think. But then I don't want to sway too far to that side because then it could still happen. And I'm not going to be the schmuck in a hospital bed with the ventilator strapped to my face like, oh, I should have taken this more seriously. No, I'm... And because of the COVID pandemic, now people started to think that this movie was a good idea. And look, there have been worse ideas. Eddie Murphy wants to do something for once in his dead career, then he'll usually get around to doing it. Oh yeah, he was in the Dolomite movie, wasn't he? Yeah, that was pretty good. But this one's actually PG-13. I think the original one was rated R. So already that's not a promising sign. I'm not saying because it's PG-13 this one is going to be bad. But just within the context of the original movie, there were like tits and F-bombs run amok. And I'm just curious as to how they're going to like keep that thing going without resorting to that profanity. There's like the scene where he goes, "Yeah, fuck you, fuck you." Maybe that'll be the only F-bomb in the entire movie. Because you're allowed 1 or 2, depending on the context. I think 2 is like the max of F-bombs you're allowed in a PG-13 movie. Or like, what's even the point then? You might as well just make it rated R. I don't know.
Son here in this land. How much child support is she getting from? The king pays no child support. No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy!
You's a dummy!
I am Hakim Jaffer, King of Zamunda. You are the...
Dude, Eddie Murphy is just delivering these lines with, like, zero energy. Like, I know he's old and shit, but, like, this... I am King of Zamunda. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Which I guess might actually help this movie, since it is a dumbass sequel that didn't need to be made.
He's supposed to be like the prince of Wakanda.
Wakanda is a fictional place.
Oh, okay, so this is his son that he's going back to recruit because he's supposed to be the king. Gotcha. It's one of those movies where it's like passing the fucking... the king's semen on to the fucking next generation or whatever the fuck.
Not to everybody.
And Leslie fucking Harambe Jones is in this too. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. After that Ghostbusters shit, that's kind of a turn off.
No handout. Wait a minute. Alright, I'm gonna pack. Okay, baby.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quay.
I'm still looking for the fucking part where this isn't just a shitty retread of a sitcom. Look at Eddie Murphy. He looks almost embarrassed to be there.
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen.
A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that
Yeah, it's basically given away the entire plot here. So basically, she wants to be queen, but the son is supposed to be the king, and it's just, dude, you know exactly how this movie's gonna go from the trailer. Hey, CGI lion.
From everywhere. I have upset my family.
Hey, stunt double while Eddie Murphy's doing kung fu shit. That's great. Like, every trick in the book.
Be strong.
And General Izzy would love nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Raise it higher.
I'm a king. Put your hands.
Okay, that looks interesting. Wesley Snipes is like the guerrilla lieutenant who wants to take over the country. That's interesting. So, you know, it looks like enough to cram a full 2-hour movie with, for sure. I have a feeling it's going to be too long. What's the running time on this movie? I'm curious. 117 minutes. Yeah, exactly what I expected. It should be at least a half hour shorter than that if they really tried to make, like, a good comedy out of it. Now, what was the original Coming to America? Okay, yeah, about the same. So, I don't know. I'm just glad they didn't try to make a Trading Places sequel, because that would have been tragic.
Style is far into my
It could have worked, though. It's not like the original Coming to America was like some scathing satire on immigration. I mean, parts of it were. Like the McDowell's shit. That was pretty funny. But like, this shit seems so tame in comparison. Like, they're going back to Africa. Where's the America part of Coming to America? It should just be called Coming to Africa, shouldn't it? Because that's where they are right now. That's where most of the movie takes place, I presume.
Hey, there you go. Let me hear you say, hey, ho.
Hey ho!
No, don't do that. That's his mother.
Oh, don't you say that.
No, not to his mother.
Well, it's good to see Tracy Morgan back in action, at least. They got, who else? What's his face? They got other comedians in here. So if anything, it's going to be like kind of, whatchamacallit, the Kings of Comedy routine.
To become a prince.
Almost.
It is time.
Ceremonial circumcision.
Bring forward the royal machete.
They're gonna sharpen your tool, nephew.
That would be embarrassing. I'm not optimistic about this movie. I might give it a shot just to see what... It's one of those things you just kind of randomly tune into if you get the time. After that Borat movie sucked, though, I'm really skeptical of anything that Prime puts out. Because that Borat movie was fucking horrendous. It was terrible. The dude was all woke and shit. It's a new world, you know?